with me, we have got a little 2012 Mercedes A-Class with a little bit of a water leak. Now, you're probably wondering why the rear lights out on this car. On this vehicle, it is such a common fault that the little vents down the back there, they leak and they fill all up the chassis and it drips down to the rear footwells. I don't know if you can see, that is absolutely sopping. Now, the biggest part of this job is removing all the interior out of the vehicle. The simple reason being is the carpets are that wet, the car's actually started to sweat. If you have a look on the door rubbers up here, there's water dripping everywhere. So the first thing we're going to do is pull both front seats out. There's 4 torques on each corners of the seat and a couple of little plugs underneath. Now, when you're removing interior, if you do come across any quids, put it in your pocket. No, don't. Don't do that. It's not yours, it's the customer's, and put it straight in the ashtray for them. Now we've got both the front seats out, we can move around to start removing off the door pillars themselves, the plastic trims. They just pull off, pull the weather strip off, and that'll allow you just to pull it all off. Well, you need to remove the seat belt, which is a T40, which goes down there. And you can move the trim off, and then we need to move around to the back. And to remove the back seats, grab at the front, give them a good yank up, and then what you need to get is a little pick. And for these Isofix little clips, there's 2 down there. Well, there you can see them better. Just prise them down, and it'll just pull straight out. Now we've removed the back seats, we need to move around to the centre console. Just pull the ashtray out. There's a little plug there. There's 2 10mm in there, and then all this centre trim here. It just pulls out with your fingers. We've got a 10mm down there, and then there's lots of like wiring plugs, wiring harnesses that you need to unplug for the various switches and stuff, and 2 little torques just at the back there. And then that centre console now should just pull up out of the way. Now, with everything out of the way, we can go ahead now and remove the rear half of the carpets. Thankfully, Mercedes have split it straight down the middle. You probably knew this was going to happen, and this is going to be absolutely sopping. You pull it out through the back. Oh, it weighs a ton. And this is why you should always pull your carpets out after a bit of a leak. Look at all that water coming out of there. Get back to the car and see how many goldfish are in here. Golly bets. Look at it. I mean, all I'm going to do then with these carpets, I'm just going to get a little bit of a trestle, like so. And we're just going to let it drip out. There's not much more you can do. Hopefully, with a little bit of wind coming through the workshop, with the doors open and one thing or another, it should dry out. So I'm going to leave it there for probably about a week. And we're going to go straight back to the car then, and we're going to get all the water out of the, with a bit of a wet vac, dry the floors out, and we're just going to leave the doors open all weekend, and hopefully we can get some air in there and dry it out. Well, I've got a couple hours spare to jump on this Mercedes now, and we're going to get round to the culprit, which is the 2 little vents behind the rear bumper. Now, to get this bumper off, we need to remove the 2 rear wheels. Now, once you've got the wheel off, you don't have to, but like I always say in all my videos, just make things easier for yourself. There is a little 10mm just up in this top corner here, and then the bumper then will pull along. Now, this has been off before by the looks of it. As you can see, the bumper is held on with silicone, and some of the tabs have broke already. As you can see, there is blue paint on that silicone. Now, come underneath the vehicle, and just at the back of the exhaust, there's 2 little cutouts in the heat shield, and then there's 2 10mm there, and that is all you need to do from the underneath, and we can drop it down now. And then once we finish underneath now, we can drop the car down and come in the back, remove this little trim here. There is 2 T40s, and it just pulls off, and there is 2 right down there, 10mm, and they are stupidly long. So what I use is a little crow's foot, hook it in, and then that will undo that 10mm. Now, once we have removed that rear bumper, we have got access now to the culprits themselves, which are these 2 little vents. I have removed the driver's side one. What happens is, the rubber seal on them, it goes hard and it's not doing its job of stopping the water going in. Now where the water, a lot of people are going to ask a question, how's it getting from there to the front of the car? Well, I'm going to try and show you the best I can. In this bottom corner down here, there's like a little, let me get my torch. There's like a little well in there, and what happens is it fills up full of water. If I put my torch down there, like so, you should see a little bit of light coming out this bottom corner around here. And what happens is that fills full of water, and as the car's moving around, it flows down the channels of the chassis and it goes into the footwell. Now I have pre-ordered these rear vents from Mercedes. They come the other day, and I've only just got a chance to get round to putting the car on the ramp and get it stripped down. But as you can see, square peg, round hole. So what I'm going to have to do now is get this car, well, put the wheels back on, get it off the ramp and put it back into the body shop and let it dry out even more. But however, if we just run over here quickly, now bearing in mind these carpets have been out of this car nearly a week on Saturday, and they are still sopping wet. Right, eventually the brand new vents have turned up for Mercedes, but before we put them in, we've got to put a little beader sealer all the way around the body there, so as we put it up, it's never ever going to leak again. Just put it on. This is white. I don't know why they've given me white, I do not know. I'm gonna put it on. Like so. And then when you get our new vents, what happens, it should just click in like that. And then once you've done, grab your finger then, rub it all the way around it, so it not only tidies it up, it pushes the silicone or sealant over the rubber seal and creates a perfect finish, like so. Well, we are back at this little Mercedes now. We're going to plod on this morning. We've got the back bumper to go on, we've got all the interior to go on, and most of all we've got a little bit of chasing status on in the background. So yeah, we are going to plod on. Them vents now, they've all gone off and they've dried absolutely beautiful. Right, let's get this back bumper on. Now that is all the back end built back up. Now think back to the beginning of the video where this corner here had broken. What I've had to do is just put a little bit of a tiger seal behind it, a little bit of masking tape, but once that's dried, that's going to hold it for now. Now let's move around to the interior. I'll give everything a little bit of a cleaner-oonie. We're going to get our elbow grease, and we're going to give everything a nice bit of a squirter-oonie and a bit of a wipe down just to freshen it up a little bit. And that is all the back carpets back in now. We've cleaned all the seats down to make them look brand new. We're going to be cleaning it as we're going along so it looks perfect when the customer has it back. Now let's make a start on putting all the centre console back in. It's fairly simple to do, but you've got to make sure that you're plugging everything back in to where it belongs, otherwise you're not going to get things working correctly. And there we have it, all that interior now is back together and it smells and looks like brand new. We've also given a little bit of a cabin treatment with some aircon cleaner, fresh scented. This stuff smells insane. But last but not least, what we need to do, because we've had the seats out and all the airbag warning lights are on and one thing and another, we've had to jump on the diagnostic and make sure that, well, clear all the fault codes down. We've got nothing now on the dash. The car is now as it should be. And for anybody that's asking, the scanner that I'm using, let's just put back there, is a Launch Eurotab 3, and this is absolutely insane. It's an insane piece of kit. But yeah, hope you've all had can't get my words out. Anyway, hope you've all enjoyed the video, and that is why the carpets are wet in the back of a Mercedes A-Class. Anyway, let's get it in.